Hey guys, this is Sagar Patel and I'm from Monroe Township, New Jersey.
Hi, my name is Amy and I'm from Springfield, Virginia.
Hi, I'm Devonna and I'm a sophomore. And I'm from Chicago!
My name is Jay Henry, and I live in Central Jersey, which exists, trust me, because I live there.
Hello Rutgers, my name is Ati Anandan and I am from Marlton, New Jersey.
Hey Rutgers, I'm Kiran Darshini and I'm an international student. I live in Salem in South India.
Hello my fellow Scarlet Knights, my name is Faith. I come from Nigeria, the giant of Africa.
My name is Andrew Ivanov and I am from Princeton, New Jersey.
Oh hey, I didn't see you there. My name's Chen Lee and I'm from Highland Park, New Jersey.
Hi, my name is Cassandra Vega and I'm from South Brunswick, New Jersey.
Hello everyone, my name is Siobhan Hassan. I'm from Patterson, New Jersey.
Hi, my name is Shayna Toth and I'm a transfer student to Rutgers and I'm from Denellen, New Jersey.
I chose Rutgers because of their nationally ranked meteorology program, their big school atmosphere, and of course the RAC.
I chose Rutgers because it truly is a groundbreaking school.
Because it's close to home and I can see my family often.
It's the best place for me to connect my passions, studies, and culture.
It's a place where there's so many opportunities.
It's just an honor to be accepted into the institution.
I have a really good engineering program.
Rutgers is the only college with an engineering exploration program that lets you explore your passion.
My dream is to become a doctor someday. I'm excited to be a part of the research and different clubs at Rutgers.
Before I graduate, I've committed myself to getting on the big screen in Rutgers Stadium right over there.
My goal is to major in political science at Rutgers, and I'm also looking forward to meeting like-minded students, hopefully at the Global Village in DRC next year.
Get my bachelor's degree in visual art and also to meet new people and make new friends.
My goal is to become a chemical engineer at the end of the 4th year.
My big dream for my time at Rutgers is to have an internship in New York City.
Rutgers will not only allow me to get the chemical engineering degree that I want, but also to change the world of healthcare around me.
I am so excited to be a Scarlet Knight.
Are you rah-rah? Are you rah-rah?
Yeah!
I am more than excited to be officially called a Scarlet Knight.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the new student convocation ceremony at Rutgers, New Brunswick. This is a momentous annual occasion in which our newest Scarlet Knights are welcomed into the Rutgers community. Today's program will be 30 minutes. You will hear from our new university president, be introduced to university leadership, hear from your peers, and listen to the alma mater sung by the Rutgers University Glee Club. As we begin today's program, it is my honor to introduce our 21st president of Rutgers University, Dr. Jonathan Holloway.
Chancellor Malloy, Provost Mogi, Vice Chancellors, Vice Presidents, Deans, student leaders, and lest we forget, our newest Scarlet Knights. I'm so pleased to be talking with you today. When I accepted the invitation to join the Rutgers community this past January, I did not envision greeting my first class of Rutgers students in this way. No one could foresee the simultaneous challenges of a viral pandemic, a long overdue global moment of racial reckoning, an economy in tatters, and a political atmosphere poisoned with caustic hyperbole and unrelenting efforts to belittle and demean. Those of us in higher education find ourselves profoundly challenged by these circumstances as we do our very best to preserve ideas that transcend time, to honor our commitments to critical inquiry, rigor, and evidence, and to produce research that will help heal the world. This is a good mission. It is this mission, in fact, that inspired me to pursue a doctorate in history when I entered graduate school 30 years ago. What I did not expect when I started down the path is that I would come to envision the university as a beloved community. I used this phrase when I introduced myself to Rutgers in January, and it will be a phrase that you will hear often during your time here. But as much as I think Rutgers is a beloved place, it is important to know that you will have a critical role to play in ensuring that it remains so. The best way for me to illuminate your role in this place at this front moment is to lean on my professional training as a historian who specializes in the post-emancipation United States. 57 years and 3 days ago, Martin Luther King Jr. stood under the stony gaze of Abraham Lincoln and shared his dream. It was the crowning moment of the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, and it offered a vision of a world where peace and justice and love overwhelmed the divisive forces of violence and insecurity and hate. The march and King's speech have been memorialized as one of this country's finest hours. In late August 1963, it appeared that a national moment of racial reckoning had arrived and that we might be guided by our better angels on a path toward equality. Less than 3 weeks later, however, that vision was blown to bits as a white supremacist terrorist group planted dynamite at the entrance to the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama. The ensuing explosion murdered Addie Mae Collins, Carol Denise McNair, Cynthia Wesley, and Carol Rosamond Robertson, 4 girls who were in the church basement putting on their choir robes. 3 days later, when Martin Luther King eulogized them, he said that their martyrdom had something to say to everyone. They say to each of us, black and white alike, that we must substitute courage for caution. They say to us that we must be concerned not merely about who murdered them, but about the system, the way of life, the philosophy which produced the murderers. Their death says to us that we must work passionately and unrelentingly for the realization of the American dream. How had the country come to these crossroads? What was going on in Birmingham? What had transpired that bombings had become commonplace in the city? In 2001, journalist Diane McWhorter set out to answer these questions in her book, Carry Me Home, Birmingham, Alabama, the Climactic Battle of the Civil Rights Revolution. More specifically, though, McWhorter wanted to answer a searing question in her own past. Did her father participate in the bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church? McWhorter grew up enjoying the privileges of a sheltered life that was accompanied by domestic servants, excellent schools, and exclusive garden parties. These advantages and the fact that she lived on the other side of a small mountain that separated her pleasant suburban home from downtown Birmingham shielded her from events that were tearing the city apart. In the years leading up to the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing, civil rights advocates had been embroiled in a legal and economic battle with the city's power elite and their brute Commissioner of Public Safety, Bull Connor. Those images you've seen of the hoses and German shepherds being used to attack black teenagers, the great majority of those photographs were taken in Birmingham in 1962 and 1963. But that was not McWhorter's Birmingham. She was innocent of the turmoil and violence transpiring less than 15 minutes away. As she herself reflected, the summer of 1962 had opened like a hot oven door, but we over-the-mountain children were cool in our valley. I commuted between the tiny house on Hoadley Drive and the pool of the Mountain Brook Club. The only hint I got of the parallel public lives being lived came during a shopping excursion my mother and I took downtown to buy my annual white leather sandals. She stopped our car shy of the business district at Avondale Park and got out. "Isn't it a shame," she said, "they closed the parks." I looked at the weedy swing sets but had no idea what she was talking about. They don't want colored people using them, she explained. It had never occurred to me that people might use a public park. Why, when Birmingham had the most beautiful country clubs in the world? McWhorter's innocence is piercing. While the city mayor shut down all public spaces in order to disperse gathering crowds of protesters, and while Bull Connor ordered his officers to deploy the German Shepherds because he wanted to, quote, see the dogs work, teenage Diane McWhorter was trying to process her discovery that not everyone enjoyed access to the pools and golf courses and country clubs of her daily life. That same year, the writer James Baldwin published an essay titled A Letter to My Nephew. In this letter, Baldwin cast his eyes across the landscape of American history and felt obliged to warn his brother's son of the challenges awaiting him as he moved toward adulthood. He wrote, I know what the world has done to my brother and how narrowly he has survived it. And I know, which is much worse, that my countrymen have destroyed and are destroying hundreds of thousands of lives and do not know it and do not want to know it. One can be, indeed one must strive to become tough and philosophical concerning destruction and death, for this is what most of mankind has been best at since we have heard of man. But it is not permissible that the authors of devastation should also be innocent. It is the innocence which constitutes the crime. For Baldwin, innocence was the issue that had to be addressed. A commitment to not knowing, a reflex to turn quickly away from ugliness, an unyielding faith in purity. These were the forces that combined in grotesque ways and helped perpetuate the deep structural inequities that were undermining the country's integrity. It is a hard thing for many to accept, but we must recognize that we are all part of the same dynamic that led a young McWhorter and the cosmopolitan Baldwin to their respective views of the world. Today, we find ourselves living in a moment when a virus has revealed to all of us how deeply fractured our society has been for years. We are living in a moment when ideology, particularly a commitment to ignoring evidence, is literally making us ill and in the worst cases, killing our friends and families. We are living in a moment when it is next to impossible to lay a rightful claim to the innocence of not knowing, because information is beamed into our smartphones at a pace that has never existed in human history. We cannot help but know. Given all of this, what are we to do? Institutions like Rutgers have an important role to play in a moment like this. Our scientists can fashion breakthroughs that lead to better diagnostics related to the virus. Our social scientists can guide us on matters of public health that can mitigate festering inequities. Our humanists can highlight the long histories and complex cultural practices that brought us to this moment and that will lead us out of it. You are now part of this beloved community, and you have the opportunity to avail yourself of all of this knowledge that, properly deployed, can heal the world. I know that you can do this, since you are part of a generation that is demonstrating a willingness to think in new ways about a society and a planet starving for solutions. Truth be told, I am already in awe of you and all that you will do to make Rutgers, this state, this nation, and this world better. As you do this work, it is my hope that you will not hide behind the veil of contrived innocence, that you will grant others the grace that is owed to them as they start to discover experiences and views that are new, and that you will seize the opportunity in this incredibly difficult time to do everything you can to learn, to grow, and to imagine. This is hard work, but I choose to believe that it is the work that you came to Rutgers to do. I cannot wait to see what you accomplish. Thank you, and welcome once again.
Thank you, President Holloway. We are so happy to have you at Rutgers University. And to our newest Scarlet Knights, I would like to officially welcome you to Rutgers-New Brunswick. You are about to embark on one of the most exciting journeys of your life. The fall of 2020 will have tremendous historical significance for many reasons, because you and many students throughout the country are attending college in a unique, remote learning environment. However, we believe in you and all that is possible for your futures, and we are here to support your dreams and aspirations. We have adapted our approach to instruction, communication, and engagement to ensure that despite our physical distance, you will still receive the world-class education that will set you apart from others. There are many members of the New Brunswick leadership team who, along with supporting faculty and staff, have worked hard to develop this incredible academic and student experience. I'd like to introduce you to them now. These members of my cabinet and academic leadership team oversee all aspects of Rutgers University New Brunswick, including academic instruction, admissions, initiatives that support your health and well-being, including our values of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Some of you are also part of unique specialized learning communities such as the Honors College, in which this year we are welcoming 340 new students, and the Douglas Residential College, a community for women that celebrated its centennial in 2018. We are also welcoming international students representing 62 countries who will be supported by Rutgers Global Initiatives as you transition to the university. And your academic school deans who have been eagerly awaiting your arrival. Each school provides an academic community with a faculty and advising staff where you will complete your major and graduation requirements. This year at Rutgers, we have 7,000 new first-year and 2,500 transfer students from 31 different states. And finally, I'd like to introduce you to our two deans who represent schools that are part of Rutgers Biomedical and Health Sciences. These teams have been working diligently in preparation for your arrival to Rutgers and have developed the essential tools and resources needed for your success, beginning with your very first day. A few of these include My Rutgers, your customizable student dashboard that will provide everything you need, from class schedules to email, grades, and term bill updates. A brand new student success website with the resources and services for academic, personal, and co-curricular success. And Get Involved, which will introduce you to student organizations and opportunities for involvement. Starting tomorrow, you will come together in an online classroom setting and begin making connections with your peers who will become your friends and professors who will become your mentors. As you settle in, I encourage you to be active participants in your education. Stay curious and explore all your opportunities. You now have all the virtual tools and materials needed for your success right at your fingertips. And while physical distance may separate us for the time being, know you are welcomed by a vibrant community of peers, faculty, staff, alumni, friends, and family at Rutgers who share a love for this great university. You will now hear from some of our student leaders who will share ways you can begin practicing the values of the Knights Call this fall. Again, I welcome you to Rutgers. I'm looking forward to the days we can all be on campus together.
Hello, thank you for joining us today. My name is Nicholas LaBelle, and I am proud to serve as your student body president. At Rutgers, academic growth and achievement are enhanced by a multitude of opportunities for engagement outside of the classroom. These opportunities help us to learn about ourselves and others, teach us how to think differently and support our peers, and provide the experiences that set us up to fulfill our personal goals for our future. As Scarlet Knights, we answer the Knights Call, a set of 5 values and expectations for all members of the Rutgers community. Come along with me to visit the 5 campuses that make up Rutgers-New Brunswick and to meet 5 of our peers who will encourage you to begin putting these values into action right now.
At Rutgers, we are authentic. We have the freedom to be our genuine selves as we seek to find our place in this large community. We welcome differences and challenge assumptions as we strive to build connections that are sincere and meaningful. While it may be harder than normal to anticipate how you might get involved when there is so much online, let me reassure you that there is a community of your peers, students just like me, who want to welcome you and get to know you. If you haven't yet, visit getinvolved.rutgers.edu, where you will find more than 500 student organizations, which also include club sports, fraternities, and sororities. The organization officers and members are finding creative and meaningful ways to engage, educate, and entertain us all.
Scarlet Knights are inclusive. Through discovery, dialogue, and development, we grow together in an environment free from judgment, stigma, and fear. We celebrate our diverse backgrounds and are committed to being a place in the world where ideas, identities, and compassion converge. Under normal circumstances, we would be learning from each other while sitting together in classrooms, on the bus, dining halls, and in our residence halls. In a virtual setting, we need to be more deliberate. The Division of Diversity, Inclusion, and Community Engagement and our culture centers support this learning through resources, programs, and involvement opportunities. For many of us, these centers have become some of our favorite spaces on campus, and I hope you will take the time to discover what they have to offer. I'm also excited to share that the First Year Fellowship Program is being offered virtually this fall. This year-long certificate program will help you gain essential skills that will support your leadership development, and applications go live tomorrow.
We are responsible at Rutgers. We uphold the highest values of trust, honesty, and integrity, and we believe that our actions significantly impact our personal journeys, our communities, and our larger society. We are thoughtful leaders who protect each other, inspire action, and tackle challenging problems. One of the most important ways you can have an impact is by casting your vote. This is true in campus, local, state, and national elections. This year, we are once again participating in the Big Ten Voting Challenge, and you can find all the information you need to register and be prepared to vote at areyovoting.rutgers.edu. In addition to voting, I hope you will join me in finding new and creative ways to serve whatever community you call home. This October, our annual Scarlet Day of Service will go virtual, and your collective efforts will help others at a time when it is needed more than ever.
At Rutgers, we are resilient. We come from all corners of the world and travel between many campuses and cities. Our Scarlet pride is evident as we overcome obstacles with grace and grit while striving to achieve our goals. Our greatest tradition is change, and it drives us to persevere and succeed. Even the most exciting endeavors, like starting college, can be stressful, and it's never too early for you to find ways to manage that stress and develop healthy habits. Rutgers Recreation offers live virtual fitness classes, challenges, and online personal training through the app RUREC2Go. Sometimes it's beneficial to find someone to talk to, and Rutgers CAPS, short for Counseling, Alcohol, and Other Drug Assistance and Psychiatric Services, offers Let's Talk, a program where you can speak informally with a counselor remotely by phone or video. When things get tough, the Rutgers community is here to help. Take advantage of these health and wellness support services to assist you with any personal challenges and to set you up for success.
Scarlet Knights are engaged. Our Rutgers experience ignites purpose within us and inspires us to get involved. We share our stories, discover our talents, collaborate with one another, and become better global citizens, all while applying the lessons we learn on the banks. While nothing can replace the memories we make when we are crowded together in the stadium for a football game or on the rack floor at dance marathon, it is our shared purpose and pride that makes those moments so meaningful. When the time is right, we will be back together again. Until then, we will get involved in class projects, attend virtual programs, and make a difference in the lives of others through community service initiatives. Participate in the Scarlet Knight Challenge that kicks off tomorrow and runs until October 30th. This challenge highlights all of the opportunities we talked about today, those you may have learned about this summer, and many more that are being announced now that the semester is set to begin.
We are so excited to officially welcome you as new classmates, organization members, and Scarlet Knights. As your Rooster President and on behalf of all student leaders, we look forward to connecting with you this fall. To learn more about all that has been mentioned throughout this program, please visit convocation.rutgers.edu.
From far and near we came to Rutgers and resolved to learn all that we can. And so we settled down in that noisy college town on the banks of the old Raritan. On the banks of the old Raritan, my friends, where old Rutgers evermore shall stand. For has she not stood since the time of the flood on the banks of the old Raritan? Then sing aloud to Alma Mater, and keep the scarlet in the van. For with the motto high, Rutgers' name shall never die on the banks of the old Raritan. On the banks of the old Raritan, my friends, where old Rutgers evermore shall stand. For has she not stood since the time